Can you imagine this episode being your first introduction to monsters? Like, let's go check out that new horror anthology. Wait, what?
It's Holly's house! It's Holly's house!
I'm not knocking the episode, but maybe save something like this for a later season once the show has established itself. It would have been really easy for someone to have missed the pilot and tried to watch the very next episode, which is this. Oof, I take it back. This is definitely horror.
It's my birthday.
Anyway, we open on a dress rehearsal for a kid's show called Holly's House, which I guess the closest real-life example would be Pee-wee's Playhouse, except that had more than 3 characters. Budget. No excuse for the lack of energy, though.
Happy birthday, Holly.
Again, definitely horror. Yikes. Also, I hate this bird.
Get it? Get it?
Cue the bell.
Oh my god, the sound effects. So here comes Mike the mailman and...
All for you, Holly.
Is this it?
yeah, something seems off now.
Chocolate.
Get away from that cake, Mr. Mike.
Oh, come on, guys. It's hot in this suit.
Turns out that Holly is a robot who is being controlled via some kind of rudimentary motion control by Catherine, who also does her voice. I like how there's an actual chocolate cake on her table with the decorations and everything. Like, just something with a similar shape and weight wouldn't do. Maybe it doubles as a backup for situations like this. I also can't decide if she did that on purpose or not, which is something to keep in mind. Later, it looks like Catherine was the one who built Holly. Anyway, it turns out that she's annoyed with the guy who plays Mike the mailman, aka Lenny. Turns out they're an item and...
I'm pregnant, Lenny.
I think we should, do it.
We already did it, Lenny.
Damn it, she beat me to that joke.
No, get married.
Anyway, he's actually happy about her being pregnant. But for her, it's a little more complicated.
It's the middle of the season. How can I leave these guys?
Whatever you decide. I love you.
Aw.
You'd like a little baby sister, wouldn't you?
That one was definitely on purpose.
I had a talk with Lenny. I think you should have it. I'm not saying marry the mailman. Just have the kid.
I don't remember her asking your opinion, dude.
What do I do? Leave the show?
You've been on it 4 years.
Oh my god, how has Holly's House been on for 4 years? Unfortunately, this isn't going to be the last episode of Monsters that implied that a woman has to quit her job and be a stay-at-home mom if she's going to start a family.
Are you actually asking me to grow up?
It's a pain in the ass, but I highly recommend it.
Anyway, at the end of the day, Catherine is about to leave when...
Don't go home.
Yeah, I think we all saw that coming.
Catherine, this is home.
Either Holly is alive and jealous of Catherine having a baby, or Catherine has lost her mind and is imagining this.
You heard me.
She gets the lady who plays Bird. Why is she still in costume? Didn't they wrap up filming hours ago?
Go ahead. You got something to say it.
Of course, Holly doesn't talk on cue. She learned that one from Chucky, and Talking Tina, and every other killer doll story.
Holly doesn't want me to have a baby.
Hey, she'll get over it. You know how robots are.
Well, Catherine is out of the room, so I guess this means Holly is alive. I have some thoughts on this that I'm going to talk about later. Later on...
Club getaway. We have Neil's beach house for the weekend. I figure if I get you alone, I can be very convincing.
Yeah, I see why she's got cold feet when it comes to Lenny. He's kind of annoying. It's neither here nor there as far as the story is concerned, but I couldn't bring myself to leave out this Benny Hill-esque montage of everyone rushing to work the next day, with the film sped up and the theme to Holly's House. Just why? So I guess they're filming for real now and...
Cut. Perfect. Lunch, 1 hour.
We don't need lunch.
yeah, it doesn't go too well.
Okay, Kathy, what do you want to do?
Don't you talk to her. You talk to me.
Holly's little prima donna freakout is pretty funny, though.
This isn't Bird's house. This isn't Mike's house. This isn't Kathy's house. This is Holly's house.
See, this show I would watch.
I can move Mr. Mike.
His name isn't Mr. Mike. It's Lenny Wiener, and he's a loser.
She's not wrong.
Along with that stupid bird.
Yeah, I have to agree with that one, too.
I want another take right now.
I don't really get why they humor her instead of just walking past her into where Catherine is.
What the hell are you doing to yourself?
Later on, Catherine gives Lenny the good news.
Yes to you and our baby. We have one more week of taping, and then I am pulling the plug. Let him watch Bozo the Bear.
Considering he thinks that she was controlling Holly earlier, he's being awfully forgiving.
I'm gonna go call my lawyer right now.
Oh, Holly.
So of course, idiot here has to go and taunt the robot.
Mr. Mike,
We're supposed to be calling our
I'm
lawyer.
supposed to be cutting out Valentine's for tomorrow. I'm cutting out your heart right now.
He kinda had that coming. During the struggle, he twists her head all the way around, but she just keeps stabbing him. Poor Lenny.
Stop it!
So Catherine walked in at the end there, but later she seems to be in denial about what happened.
This is the last show.
Hey, that's great. And you and Lenny?
Oh,
Get Mr. Lucky.
Lenny, I did it. I told everybody.
Kathy, are you sad because Mr. Mike's not here? Stay with me, Kathy.
No,
Live in my house.
I made you.
With the two of them wearing the same colors, it's easy to see how much Holly looks like Kathy here. If they hadn't revealed that Holly was alive and this was all in Kathy's head, it could be a metaphor for maybe her fear of having adult responsibilities or having to basically give up Holly in favor of having a child. Kind of a missed opportunity there.
No.
I like her stealing Kathy's heart though, kind of like how she stabbed Lenny in the heart.
Mommy, they're coming.
I also love the poignant silence here as Catherine turns her back to the camera. You can tell that everything is kind of crashing down at this point, but the show must go on.
We're gonna have a special game.
Later, they're filming the final scene, which involves a treasure hunt.
You're very, very cold, early bird. You're so cold, you're a penguin. Ha ha.
Should have brought my sweater.
Okay, that was kind of funny.
Someplace where you put things, bird.
Yeah, I think we know where this is going.
I know. In here.
Yep, dead Lenny reveal.
Have you any letters for me, Mr. Mike? He's gone now, Mommy. Can we play?
Kathy definitely does not appear to be controlling her here. She is just done with that stupid animatronic now. You can hear Holly screaming. That's pretty messed up. Sometime later, we see that Kathy has given birth.
Having her is the best thing I ever did. You were right, Neil.
That sure is a drab hospital room. I wonder why. The other two are moving on and doing their own show. Meanwhile, it turns out that Kathy is in an insane asylum and thinks her baby is Holly.
And especially, there was me.
And so ends Holly's house.
It's Holly's house.
This is a pretty good episode. It works on some levels and has some good scenes, and the characters are likable. And it's really weird, but in that way that's kind of fun. Like I said, I wish there was no reveal showing that Holly was really alive. There's a missed opportunity there with the possible implications of all of this happening in Kathy's mind. Though, it's possible they were still going for that, and this was supposed to be a throwaway scare, along with the other times that Kathy clearly isn't controlling Holly. But that's kind of sloppy if that's what they were doing. Honestly, if Holly being alive was all in Kathy's mind, I feel like the story would tie up a little more neatly at the end. Rather than her being locked up because no one believed her about Holly, or her going insane because of that, insanity would have been where she was headed all along, which is a lot more interesting. It does end with her telling her baby the story of Holly's house. I wonder if the story up until this point was supposed to be her version of what happened. So she was controlling Holly without realizing it? But I really wish they'd left it more open for that interpretation. In any case, this episode was directed by and based on a story by Theodore Gershony, who also wrote quite a few episodes of Tales from the Dark Side. It was partly written by David Luca, who would later go on to write the screenplays for Rings and Dreamhouse. Also, Holly, believe it or not, was played by Michael J. Anderson, who is probably most recognizable as the little person in Twin Peaks. He's going to be in a later episode too, where you'll be able to recognize him better. Honestly though, that makes me wonder why Holly has to be a robot in this episode's universe. Wouldn't it be more practical to just have Holly be played by a little person in a costume? Oh well. Next up is New York Honey. See you then.
What you need is a quiet, relaxing dinner with an understanding duck.
Scarlet Ibis.
Well, I play it as a duck.